What up? What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rich. Still dealing with technical difficulties, as you can tell. What up? What up? What up? Tragic, boy. I got What's echoes. Everybody? It's your boy Rich. Let me see what we doing. Still dealing with technical difficulties. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm like, okay. Derek, can we start this over? I need to start all the way over. Just take us back off, start the show again. Good grief. Okay, that's better. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Rich. Real Talk with Rich is in the building. One more again. And I got a guest with me. Yes, so sir. Before I introduce my guest, let me just say that, ain't nobody mad but the devil. And, technical difficulties will technical difficult. And so that's what we was kind of wrestling. Oh, I should say, let me put this on me. I was the one that had the technical difficulty. Rebooting phones, going to tablets, all this stuff so we can come here. Kind of like them Houston Cougars the other night that was sleeping. They slept and snoozed for 3.5 quarters. And then they realized, like, you know what? We might actually can win this game.
We playing basketball. Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? We just kind of got it, ratcheted up a little bit. Now we here. So, yeah, that's what's up. So anyway, man, I have a special guest with me on tonight. We're going to chop it up about comic books and all kind of different things. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, my man here, this is Amir. He is the host of the 1 in 100 podcast that you can get on Spotify or anywhere you get your podcasts from. This is a podcast that I listen to on my way to work. This is the podcast that I listen when I'm bagging and boarding. This is a podcast that I listen to when I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? My man Amir, he covers a lot of comic book and MCU and entertainment news and stuff. And he's just a dope individual. When I first discovered Amir, he had a podcast called Paperbacks and Soundtracks. Yes, and he had a host at one time, my man K, Agent K, shout out to him. But they did some amazing work. And then my man, he did some grown-up stuff, and he went and got married. he went and got married, and you know how it is when you get married. Like Andre 3000 said, I rather hate to see you frown, but I'd rather see her smile.
That's right.
So we all had to frown a bit while my man got his his feet under his legs, got into the marriage thing, and relocated to Texas. So he's back doing what he does best, which is entertain you and I. So my man Amir, AKA the Black Podcaster, is with us on tonight to just hang out and talk shop, man. So first of all, let me say to you, brother, how you doing? How's life treating you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. First of all, thank you, for allowing me to, jump on here with you and do what we do best. I'm either talking in the chat, you know what I'm saying, cracking jokes and all that good stuff. So I thank you for, allowing me to come on here and chop it up with you. But I'm doing good. The family's good. Actually, most of my family is in my house right now. We celebrated like 14 birthdays, it feels like today.
Wow.
Now I have my mother-in-law, happy birthday to her. My wife's birthday's tomorrow. My oldest daughter's birthday's on the 11th. One of my niece's birthday was on the 1st. So we went to brunch and had a good old time. And the after party happened to come to my house. So
wow. So I guess it's safe to say that you breaking the bank. You ain't gonna have no money for no comic books this month, my brother.
Let me tell you, I ain't go to the shop this week. Luckily, I only had one book this week to really, that was on my pull list. But you know how we do. We see some stuff that come out. We call the shop. Hey, I need that Ironheart. You know what I'm saying? And I need that. I need that new Green Lanterns. So it was one book and it went to 3. So I'll probably get there tomorrow.
Yeah, funny how that happens. We make comic book heads make a way.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do what it do, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Got a mortgage. So what?
Hey, listen.
Got a $300 light bill? Nah, no problem.
I'll get a flashlight.
Yeah, man. So, guys, we are here to do a show on tonight. And before we get really into the show, I want to take an opportunity to salute in memory of MD Bright. MD Bright passed away on March 27th, 2024. So it's been officially over a year since Mark Bright has left us. Mark Bright, we know, is legendary milestone writer, legendary Marvel and DC artist. Primarily, I would say DC, but he's done some work at Marvel as well. And Valiant, of course. Him and Christopher Priest put together one of the most amazing comic books, Quantum and Woody, volume 1 and 2, I think. Hilarious, good stuff. Good comic book fun, man. So wanted to just, acknowledge, it's been a year and Marvel has yet to honor my mans. Marvel, we talk a lot of trash about Marvel, but we love Marvel comic books. We're not going to get away from the fact that we love Marvel comic books. We love the characters, we love the stories, but it's the corporation that we have issues with because y'all are very selective in who y'all choose to honor. And as Black comic heads, ain't laying down on that, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't backing down on that. We had Tom Brevoort in an interview with Paul, and Paul kind of asked him about it. And in so many words, he gave his honest answer or whatever, and but you get no points for honesty.
Right.
You have to be honorable when it comes to understanding who you gotta be solid when it comes to your fan base and who your fan base is. And I think that gets lost in the Marvel offices. I understand that maybe the dominant culture is who you pay attention to because you kind of view them more as shareholders. Well, guess what? We buy a lot of Marvel comics too. And if we think enough of this guy to keep talking about him, y'all should want to do the right thing by him. Don't give me another Marvel Voices comic book. Just take a page out of your book, 22-page comic book. You could take a half a page,
exactly,
or a page, and just say, "Hey, we want to salute this guy who did do a lot of comic books for us." You can do that, Marvel. It's not a hard task.
And OG, I mean, that's why the Black Comic Lords channel is so important. You know what I'm saying? Like, I discovered the Facebook page, a few years back, and I joined in, and there was a lot of books and a lot of artists and things that people I didn't know about. And MD Bright being one of them. Like I started collecting comics. I'm still a young Padawan in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot from you, Herschel, Paul, all you guys that Rico, when y'all would post books like that, when y'all was just getting things off the ground with the Facebook group. And I know sometimes we want Marvel to give that recognition, but doing what you do, keeping this man's legacy alive. Some of those books back there in the background of his graphic, I have a lot of those books really because of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all bringing them to my attention when I first joined the group. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call you OG. You know what I'm saying? I know we being nice right now, but matter of fact, hey, producer, can you hit that disclaimer for me real quick? Now, I just want to tell everybody out there, okay? I know y'all don't see my face often on the channel, you know what I'm saying? But I would like to tell everybody, I'm the man who started calling Rich OG Rich, okay? Well, nobody called him OG before me. You know what I'm saying? You got to show the respect, all right? I just want y'all to know where that name came from. It came from your boy right here, you know what I'm saying? And what he's doing right now is an OG thing right now. Paying respect to someone that put in the work, put in the effort to please our eyes. You know what I'm saying? With his artwork of storytelling, with his artwork. So rest in peace to MD Bright, man. One of the goats for sure, man. But yeah, go ahead, continue, OG. I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah,
I had
no,
a
no,
chance.
no.
I had a
It's all
chance to
good, bro.
get one of those
Yeah,
disclaimers in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know
Like, look, listen, real talk with Rich is just that, real talk. If you need to get off something, this is the platform to do it. You might not be able to do it on Friday nights with Paul. You might not be able to do it with the Herschel Morning Show if you get up that early. But here, yeah, you can go off on our show. But real thanks, salute you, bro, for mentioning that. And I will say this, that I never considered myself a OG, and I do think that the highest compliment to be given that is when someone puts that on you. You don't put that on yourself. You allow somebody to put that mantle on you. That's like, growing up in the hood or whatever, we have nicknames. I was telling the kids in church today, asking them about their nicknames, and nicknames generally come from people that love us. You know what I'm saying? The nickname might be disgusting. It might be something that's goofy or corny, but we wear those nicknames. We wear them because somebody blesses you in that fashion or whatever. That's part of Black culture. Let me just say it like that.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what we do in our culture. People want to know what Black culture is. That's some of the things that we do. We give each other, nicknames, and we give each other dap and love because of the impact or the importance of people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, I consider when people use that word OG, I'm very cognizant of it. And I tell people if they was like, ask me about it or whatever, so it originally means original gentleman. Because you know gangster. Right. You know what I'm saying? I know real OGs. and they don't do YouTube channel shows, okay? Right. Real OGs they don't even want to be seen on the screen. Don't take their picture.
Nah, don't put no digital footprint of me out here online.
Nah. Get me caught up.
For real.
Yeah. But anyway, man, let's get into the show. So man, look. So first of all, I done lost my little guy. And I think we're gonna talk about Daredevil.
Yeah, you got Daredevil up.
Okay, so I've been listening to you talk about Daredevil. and I gotta say, we are 7 episodes into this thing, and it literally took 6 for it to really get cracking.
Yeah. It's only 9 episodes, so
it is only 9 episodes. So we really we on the tail end of this thing.
Yeah, we already over the mountain.
Yeah. So let me ask you, bro. Going into this, when you first watched it, because we love Daredevil, love the Netflix show. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
But how do you rate this compared to that, bro?
Out of 10 or 5?
Just say 5.
Okay, I'm giving it a good old 3 right now. Compared to the Netflix stuff. I don't know if it's because they have way more episodes in every season, but it feels like they're trying to tell us a story and they want us to already know the story. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not digging into certain stuff.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they go to a scene, then they pop out of the scene, and now we're already in the next one, and we should already be abreast of what's going on in that conversation. It's like we should already understand what's going on. And I forget the gentleman's name, but I interviewed a comic book writer when I first started the podcast, and he was like, his job as a writer is to tell us what he wants us to know, not for us to guess it. And it seems like every episode I am left with questions, and I don't see the answers on the next one. Like, so I don't know if it's because of the amount of episodes that they're doing, but the Netflix stuff to me was it was amazing. I know some people like, they put down season 2, but season 2 was excellent, man. When they brought in the Punisher and they were having those conversations on the rooftop, like it was dope. And then they brought the Punisher in, for 10 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna see him again. You know what I'm saying? Like he gave him the good old, Frank Castle conversation, and he gone. Like, okay, so he's just there looking like an old drunk, and that's it. Like, what's going on there? So I don't know, but yeah, I give it a 3. What are you? Where are you at right now?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I gotta say that I have a dog, right, and my dog is very lazy. He's a senior dog, so he sleeps a lot.
Yeah,
and so I'm using this analogy, whereas a dog that is lazy like that, it could be all kind of stuff going on. And dog don't care. The dog is just gonna like lay there and just kind of like, okay, what we doing? Okay. But the Frank Castle scene was the equivalent of like when I saw Frank, I kind of rose up.
Thank you. I said, oh yeah, here we go.
So, now we Daredevil. It was kind of like, it's been a cool show. It's like, all right, I see Wilson trying to live his trying to live his best life, trying to do the right thing or whatever, right? But there's literally zero action in this. And so he comes on the scene, he gives this, I don't know, 10-minute spiel with
say his name.
Say his name. That was powerful. That was powerful, bro. But he wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows that what's driving him is what happened to Foggy.
Yep.
I didn't like the fact that they killed Foggy in the first 10 minutes of the show. I thought that was butch. I was like, wait a minute. Foggy is one of the reasons why, Matt is who he is.
Right.
And so it's like, you're going to kill that. And I understand the whole born again thing. I kind of felt like that was the disservice to Frank Miller, because I really originally thought we were going to get the Frank Miller run.
Yeah, they're more so in the Charles Soule and Chip Zdarsky stories, And
it's cool. It's cool, but why call it born again?
Right.
When you know that this is a legendary run as far as Daredevil fans are concerned. And here's another thing too. We're getting 9 episodes, right? When they first pushed this out that they were doing it, they said we was going to have 18.
Right.
So I don't know if it's like,
so I don't know already if shooting like, season 2.
That's crazy. So I don't know if they're like, backing up off of that, or they saying, well, we're going to hold off on that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. But again, I just think that the show has been a slow burn. And my fear is that it's going to crash.
Which is crazy because, like you said, you heard me talk about this show and my love-hate for it going back and forth. They pulled me back in. But before the show dropped, there was people that were able to see the show in whole, like completely. They finished episode 1 all the way to 9. And the way these people were talking in their non-spoiler reviews was that this was the best MCU Disney show that's been out. And they're like, I can't wait till season 2 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, that's how they bringing it. And of course, like you said, the first 5 minutes, Foggy gets, 2 slugs to the back and Karen is out by episode 2. And I could have sworn that was the whole movement. So they wanted them 2 back. But, it's crazy. I don't see this being, to me, this isn't even better. This is not better than WandaVision. This is not better than Falcon and Winter Soldier or Captain America Winter Soldier. Those are my 2 favorite shows. It's not better than Ms. Marvel. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't see it. The balance is not there for me, to be personally.
Yeah, it's the Wilson Fisk Kingpin thing has been, I think that's been the real, for me, I think that's been the real letdown.
Yeah.
Because while I understand that there was in the comics, he becomes mayor. I get that. But it's I kind of want my Kingpin off the rails.
Yeah, he getting there.
Yeah.
He getting there.
You know, I want the Kingpin that just loses it. And I'm talking about the Kingpin that, if you remember the comics, I don't know what's his. I think it might have been his wife, but I think his wife gets killed, and he literally goes on a killing spree.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of bringing that into this right now. Him and the whole Adam and Vanessa thing, and my man was like, "Here, take this axe. You take that. Here, let's make it fair. You take that."
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this is what we're going to get. I love the actor. He's great. What I'm saying? But he's really very reserved in this role.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of, like I say, want him to kind of go off the rails so we can kind of like really get to the action.
Yeah.
Because, him and Matt are doing this dance. Thought you were done.
Right. Yeah, I thought you hung up that white suit. What's going on?
Like, come on, can we get this going to do some scrapping? Yeah. But I mean, again, I'm enjoying it for what it is. I think that's my attitude with the MCU stuff at this point has been that, let's just, okay, it's not the best, it's not the worst. Let's just try to enjoy it.
Yeah. Before we move on, how do you feel, Kingpin, on Ozempic? That's
JT,
funny.
you're not right, brother.
That is funny. How do you feel about the whole Muse situation? Like, you all caught up, right?
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you. First of all, the what I don't like, or what I have not liked, I guess, is the way he was brought in.
Mm-hmm.
We have zero backstory. We have this dude just shows up and just start painting the walls with blood. Okay,
right.
But I kind of wish that they would have and they've done that with the villains, even when at the very beginning of the show when they had Bullseye.
Where is he? He ain't dead. Where he at?
In prison, I guess. We're gonna see Bullseye again. I mean, he comes on screen and wrecks shop, and then all of a sudden he's going to jail. Okay. Done. I mean, that's like the top. Daredevil's Rose Gallery is nice, but Bullseye is like at the top. It's Bullseye and then Kingpin for me as for villains. Now,
with that.
It's kind of like, okay, y'all took the queen off the chessboard.
Mm-hmm.
The king is okay; he's still here, but what is he going to do? What's next? And then, of course, Muse is brought in, and he kind of dominates the series for like 2 or 3 episodes or whatever. Now he's gone.
2 episodes.
The 2 episodes. Now he's gone. Okay, all right, Marvel. What's next?
Here's my problem with it, OG, with Muse, because he's a really crazy character. I mean, obviously, for people that read the comics, they know him. But if you're not reading this stuff, this character just pops on screen. And one of the things that they use to describe him, I don't know if you caught this, was that he has killed 60 people.
Yep.
And y'all wait till episode 5. Nobody knew this man was going on a killing spree for 60 people.
Yep.
That was just weird to me, man. Daredevil been chilling, drinking macchiatos or whatever with his girlfriend, and Muse done killed 60 people.
Yeah. And that's something else too. Look, Matt Murdock is who he is. But they really trying to make this dude Mac of the Year. Okay, he's a lover boy. I get it, but he's supposed to be in Hell's Kitchen, running roughshod on the villains or whatever. Y'all want to put 100 love scenes with him and his girlfriend? Fine. Okay, y'all want her to confront him about who he is or who she think and know who he is,
right?
But he's like, nah.
Who she we're
gonna dance with this, okay? Maybe they're doing this because they think they can get some ladies to watch the show and be intrigued by her story. I don't know. Possibly. I just know she is a distraction, and my man need to get to the business.
Straight up,
So, but yeah, But I'm enjoying Daredevil for the most part. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, dog, I gotta catch up and watch Daredevil. But it's like, oh, I ain't got nothing to watch. I guess I'll watch the next episode.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm only watching it because I don't want nobody to spoil it for me. Because if I didn't have to, like, if I didn't have to worry about that, I would just wait till all the episodes came out and just, you know, chilled out on a Saturday after I do my chores, because you know I am married, so I gotta handle that first. But you know, then I sit down and watch the little Daredevil. But that's the only reason why I'm watching it week to week right now, because people get online and go off. But
they've been tripping. Speaking about people going off, man, let's transition to the Superman sneak peek.
Okay.
People been losing their mind over this.
They mad again?
They stay mad.
Every clip they put out the Superman, they upset.
they stay mad. Okay. Now, when the snippet came out with Crypto, I was in then. I was like, let's go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But what they did was, with this sneak peek, is that they allowed the scene to really play out.
Yeah.
Crypto is a dog in every sense of the word.
100%.
He don't care that Superman is bleeding profusely. He don't care that Superman has probably got 11 million different bones shattered in his body. He just see Superman. He's like, oh, it's time to play.
Yeah, my boy is home.
Around. He bouncing around on Superman.
Like, hey, go get them snacks that you left in the fridge for me, player. Yeah, I'm happy to see you. That was hilarious, man. I love that.
He's like, Crypto, home. And you know, it took a minute for Crypto to kind of like, okay, ooh, he's really needing my help.
Something,
and of course, he takes him to the Fortress of Solitude. And you know, then we see this AI that's on the screen, and people were upset about the AI, but it was a joke. People didn't get the joke. They forget that this is James Gunn. I don't listen. There are two trolls in my life that I can't stand, but I love them, and that's Herschel and James Gunn.
And boy, both of them are good. Both of them are good.
What they do,
they can get the audience talking.
But they are trolls in every sense of the word. So there's a part, of course, where you know the AI, one of the AI, I think it's AI 12. He says in so many words that you know they have no feelings and that kind of thing or whatever. And then he turns to like AI number 4. And it's like, oh, he looked at me, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that was the joke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That he was just literally trolling everybody, because he knew, James Gunn knows, that everybody is going to try to pick apart everything he does. So he just literally just fed the trolls with that. Yeah. And a lot of people were upset about that. They tried to say, okay, this is some woke stuff and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm just kind of like, okay, guys. You know,
it's very interesting how much time people have on their hands, because it's like, man, I swear I didn't know all these directors and editors was out here in the world just not doing nothing at all. Ain't none of them working in the movie business, and they just know how to do everything. But I really enjoyed the first trailer, like that, or teaser. I don't even know, is this a teaser or is it a trailer? I don't know. They be changing the names, but I really enjoyed it the first time. But then, you know, when they expanded it a little bit more, James Gunn, man, he is really good at putting this funny, dark, emotional, like, movies together. Like that whole scene with Crypto right there was like hilarious, but it's like, this is kind of dark, because what the heck happened to Superman? He is bleeding. He look like he got some broken ribs, and then of course they scan him up, and it's like, he got his butt whooped. Like, what happened? you know, and then just the visual of the Fortress of Solitude was sick to me. Like, wow. And then the way they turned it to the sun, and I'm just like, honestly, I felt some type of way because when COVID hit, I got hit bad with COVID. And when I came home, my mom used to be like, go sit outside on the porch and just get some sun. You know what I'm saying? And that sun is something, it really does. It really does make you feel good, man. And just seeing him hit that sun hit him, and it was like, it wasn't just one of those like, I'm good. You know, he was screaming. Like, what hit him? What hit him? You know, but just great.
And
great
I think that's the cool part about why I'm looking forward to the movie, because who put hands on Superman like this?
Look at him. Listen, I'm from New Jersey. We're gonna talk about New Jersey later. I done seen some dudes laid up like that after they got hit, and the sun wasn't bringing them back. That, you know what I'm saying? But he got hit with either one or two people put hands on him.
Yeah, he got two-piece real good.
Oh man!
But I'm just looking at Crypto. Like, Crypto is just like, come on, let's go, let's play. Right. He pouncing on him, and Superman is yelling out like, "Oh!"
It's almost like Crypto saying, "You'll be all right. Come on, man. You Superman, ain't you?"
And that's that dark humor that you were talking about, because that's James Gunn. James Gunn has been a master of taking comic book stuff and while it is already dark in and of itself, but take you to deeper spaces. Because when you think about it, I'm like, okay, you can't. The dog is looking at Superman like, dude, come on, it's time to play. Because the dog is thinking, oh, it's Superman, it's time to play. You know what I'm saying? He probably used to Superman being rough with him, so he's being rough. It's playtime.
But then broke his other
rib. He wasn't even thinking about that. So when they do put him in the position to get the sun, you know what I'm saying, there he is screaming, I guess, I guess his bones are coming back together, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot in this sneak peek trailer that, I gotta say, man, I'm looking forward to this movie. I am a Superman guy.
Yeah.
And so while I don't like every Superman run, there are a few that I really dig. And so I'm just interested to see how James Gunn is going to bring us all together.
Yeah, I'm not a big Superman guy like that. Like, I've read when Bendis first went to DC and he did that miniseries with Superman, he did like 5 issues. That was really good. But other than that, I'm not like big on Superman. I think I got like I got volumes 1 and 2 of World's Finest up there, the one that Mark Waid is doing, and that's really good. But I like Batman too. So, but Superman isn't really my go-to. But if it's not my go-to and he's pulling me in there, I'm pretty sure it's going to do well. But do you need to see any more of anything else?
No, I don't. To be honest with you. I mean, we've got. I think we got Metamorpho in the first sneak peek. We got Mr. Terrific. Got Hawk Girl. You got Guy Gardner. What more do you need to see to like think this is not going to be entertainment or entertainment?
Right.
So I don't know what people are tripping for, or but people just need something to be outraged about for clicks and likes, and it is what it is. But I'll recommend a run, a comic book run for anybody that has never really been into Superman. Superman, written by Grant Morrison. All-Star Superman and Superman written by Grant Morrison is an amazing. All-Star Superman is an amazing run. Okay. I think you would dig that. Now, JT brought up Superman Lost, that was written by Christopher Priest.
Oh yeah, he told me about that a
which
while
is
back.
Weird because I didn't, it got nominated for an Eisner. Now, I read Superman Lost and I thought it was cool, but I didn't think it was like Eisner worthy.
Like that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's only because when you are a Superman guy or whatever, you're literally, whether you want to or not, you're going to weigh it against other stuff that you've read. You know, Superman Unchained by Snyder is another run that's pretty good. It's like 9 issues, I want to say. The DC did a couple years ago. They did a Superman Red and Blue, like an anthology series. I thought that was pretty good.
I did get a cover, one of those. I did get a cover. I think did Dennis Cowan do something in one of those?
I believe he did. I know Brandon Easton did I think some stories in that particular anthology as well. But yeah, man, I mean, a lot of people don't like Superman, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't like he's the white boy, well-to-do, grew up in Kansas, that kind of thing. You know, he's not, okay.
I mean, I was born in 86, so Batman, Michael Keaton was that dude when I was little. I mean, his Batman boots was Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. What more can you want? You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so Superman wasn't that, popping to me, but I did watch the old movies and stuff, of course. They'd be running them, but Batman was just always that dude to me. But I see a lot of people saying Grant Morrison. Listen, OG had me doing some homework before we got on here, so I got about 4 days left on that DC trial. So I might dig into some Superman while I got it.
Right. So, I figured that my man would come on. We would chop it up about comics. We're gonna go ahead and transition into a run that we read. I called my man up. I hit him in a direct message. I said, "Hey, have you read Steel from the 90s, the Christopher Priest, Dennis Cowan run?" So he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Read it. We're gonna talk about it." So before that madness, that now listen, I love Shaq Fu. Shaquille O'Neal was like one of the first posters I ever put in my room as far as a basketball player. I will always love Shaq. And I always will love Shaq's when he was rapping with the Fusnickens. Yeah. I love Shaq when Jersey's he was
finest, baby.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's a Jersey dude. I love Shaq. But to say that Shaq lost some cool points with me with this movie.
Yeah. That helmet. Every time I see that helmet, I just laugh.
Bro, that did not help the Steel brand at all. That hurt the Steel brand. I think we'll never get to see Steel on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because and again, look, I'm making jokes, y'all. But
that was a rough 1997 right there.
Boy, man.
Boy, that was a rough August for sure. that was a cold summer right there.
Man, that was hilarious. I'm like, okay, guys, y'all just throwing money at Shaq and he's just doing whatever. But it's cool though, you know what I'm saying? But before Christopher Priest has been in the game a long time, right? And Christopher Priest is known for a lot of things. He's known for the Black Panther run that introduced the Dora Milaje. He's known for doing things like Quantum and Woody. But back in the mid-90s, before Black Panther, Christopher Priest joined Dennis Cowan for a number of Steel comic books. The Christopher Priest, Dennis Cowan era on Steel started with issue number 34. And it took all the way to issue 52. And I gotta say, Christopher Priest did his thing in this particular book. This is a fun run. I would say that the way it wrapped up, you could kind of tell they were telling them, come on, it's time to wrap this up. It was a little rushed at the end, but for the most part, it started off firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
So we talk about Black artists writing and drawing Black characters. In 96, when this run started, that's what we had. Listen, Let me tell you something about the 90s, bro. The 90s, in terms of comics, was amazing.
Yeah.
Was amazing. In 93, you start off with Milestone. Okay.
Yeah, 93.
You got Milestone, then you got Anaya Publishing, you got Omega 7 with Alonzo Washington, Original Man. You got all that stuff going on in the 90s. Then you end the 90s with Christopher Priest in 98 with Black Panther. Listen, Black Panther been around since 1966, but Black Panther did not matter until 1998.
Right.
He did not become the king of Wakanda and the larger than life figure until 1998.
I mean, I was in the sandbox trying to be Black Panther in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't reading them, but I was trying to be him.
Yeah. So when we talk about comic books and Black comic books in particular, it was an amazing time, y'all. And so people don't talk about this particular run. And I know why. It's because it's Steel. Because some people think that Steel is a Superman knockoff. Steel's an original character. He's not a sidekick, but he's his own character. People don't like his name. His name is John Henry Irons. Yeah. I get it why people, thumb their nose up at it. But and I had a guy who I respect, do an analysis of Steel, who Steel was. And in so many words, I kind of pushed back on him and I told him, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to still collect Steel. I understand how you feel about it or but I'm still going to do this because I found him to be a solid character. I found him to be a character that was his own man. He wasn't a puppy dog behind, Superman and that kind of thing. Superman respected him. Superman, leaned on him at times. Yeah. And so, he's a part of the Superman family. It is what it is. But you got to remember, this was the 90s when this came out.
Yeah.
This was 96. So when you think about you talk about big city comics in terms of Brother Man, you had all this stuff going on. It was a gumbo. It was some gumbo funk going on, y'all. Hip hop was banging and comic books were Black comic characters. It was nice, y'all.
Listen, so I was able to read. I read issues 34 to 38, right? And once you gave me the assignment, then I was like, I'm going to see how it ends, and then I'm going to keep going. So I read 34 and 52, and then I went back and started reading some more issues. So when you say that this is something, a story that a lot of people don't talk about, I get it. Because the way Christopher Priest was writing this story, this book is black. Like some of the stuff that he was saying in this book, with the niece, the niece is wild.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Listen. The Natasha Irons.
Gosh.
Yeah. The Natasha Irons that we see today in comics is not the Natasha Irons.
Not at all, yo. Not at all. Like, this was good. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I was kind of like, I was reading it and I was kind of relating to it. And not because I'm from Jersey and the book, the story takes place in Jersey City, but it was like, okay, this feels a little familiar. Just like, this guy who has this, this Superman or this S on his chest that he did remove for a little bit, then put back. But he moves into this new city and everybody's like expecting big things from him, right? Like, yo, Jersey got their own Superman, It's just like, wow. And he's kind of like, yeah, I'm not that dude. You know what I'm saying? My suit's kind of limited. I can only do a little bit, I can only do a few things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't an alien and all that stuff. I'm just a regular dude, I work for R&D, So it was just like, okay, I kind of get it because moving from Jersey to here to Texas, where I'm at, and where I'm at, the area that I'm in is not a lot of us here, right? It's not a lot of people that look like me down here. So I came here with these expectations on my shoulders and in my mind, like I gotta be more than what these people see on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like So it was kind of like the exact opposite. He was going to Jersey, trying to like, let me tone it down a little bit. I'm gonna start fresh. Follow this lady over here, which was when I read issue 52, turned out to be. That's what I was like, boy, you should have stuck around Jersey a little bit longer, because you would have understood some of these people that you was trusting. You probably shouldn't have trusted, brother. But yeah, this so far, I'm digging it, yo. I'm digging it. But I can understand why people don't, that maybe lack some.
Yeah. It was Priest being Priest. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is, or not in the movie, but in the comic book, I think is in issue number 34, where he's literally fighting a guy, and he lowers his hammer into this car.
Oh yeah.
and the hammer merges with the engine block.
Yeah.
And so there's a scene where I guess it was Natasha saying, "Oh, you still trying to get Excalibur?"
Yes. Oh, that was good. That was good. It was the detective, the lady detective.
The detective.
Yeah, she pulled, because she was there when he threw it into the truck, and then next thing he trying to get it. But when she said that, I laughed out loud. I said, "Oh, this guy is something, man. Priest is a wild boy."
Yeah, he I mean, there's Tupac lyrics. One of the villains in the series, Scorpio, I think that's his name.
Yeah, Scorpio.
Yeah, he was rapping Tupac "How Do You Want It" lyrics in the book. I thought that was hilarious. But the story, just to get you, we don't spend a whole bunch of time on this, but the story essence is really about Steel raising his niece. His niece is 16 years old. She a wild girl, you know what I'm saying? But she a real one. Let's just keep it a fact.
That's a fact.
She's a real one. And let me just say, we were talking about, nicknames for people. And so she's got this guy, weirdo like dude or whatever. We don't really know much about him, but she just looks at him and just start calling him Boris. And
Boris.
And so, I mean, in my community, that's not something we, call one another. That's literally for white folks or whatever.
Over there on that side.
Russians or Germans or whatever. But the only Boris I'm aware of is the Boris from, I think, the Underdog cartoon or whatever. But but this dude is just a weirdo altogether. Right? But she's hanging out with him, and she's saying the most crazy things, to him and to her, her uncle. But the uncle is not really pressed.
Right.
The uncle's not pressed by anything she say at all, and he says to her, "I know you, Nat." You know what I'm saying? He said, "I know you talk a lot of trash, but I really, really know you." And so, for the most part, Natasha is very, very outgoing, outspoken, that kind of thing. But when it's all said and done, she's really a good kid, but she just happens to have a mouth on her.
Man, when she was talking to her friends on the phone, like, men and they problems, girl. He got me in here with these glass walls and stuff. I was like, yeah, dog, she going off on her uncle. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's really good, man. Like if y'all get a chance to check it out. Unfortunately, I'm reading it, digitally, which sucks when you got a phone. But yeah, if you can find them in the wild, I'm sure most of y'all have them. That ain't nothing new to y'all, but it's definitely a dope run. And that the white dude, what they call him, villain.
Yeah.
And they keep messing up his name.
Villain, it's French.
Villain, it's French.
Villain, it's French.
Right. Yeah, there you go. It's French.
Yeah. It's some stuff in the story though that is, and like I said, we're not gonna take a whole lot more time with it, but to answer Anthony Mazzano's question, he says, "Rich, would you say Steel is more towards like an Iron Man or a Superman in terms of what he does?" I would say he's really more toward an Iron Man, only because he relies on the tech.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have the strength like that. And that was one of the things about the story which is hilarious because at the very beginning of it, you know, he comes across a cop and he said, "Superman, we need you to do this." And it's like, wait a minute, hold up, bro.
We're talking about. The way my suit is set up, I ain't gonna be able to do just hold a building up.
Yeah. So, you know, so there is that. So I'm saying the tech is there, but it's not the same tech. Now, the tech that he had that you see in the steel suits today is way far advanced than this tech. You know, you got to understand, like I said, this was done back in 96. So while Priest brings a lot of different elements in, there's not a whole lot of focus on the actual tech of his suit. You know, matter of fact, most of the power is really in his boots and in his hammer. They talk more about the hammer that he has. In fact, the farther he throws it, the more faster or the more impactful the actual thing is.
Yeah.
You know, as far as him being able to like do something with the hammer itself. So the hammer is really the most powerful thing in his tech that he has. There's a book that, you know, where Superboy makes an appearance and they have to stop a train. Actually, they have to stop 2 trains. Superboy has to stop 1 train. He has to stop the other train, and he's literally in front of the train with his boots trying to stop this train from crashing into this other train. It's hilarious. But like I say, while you're reading it or whatever, you know, you're really enjoying the story, but Priest got jokes. So after the crisis is averted, you know, he knows that Superboy has been checking for Nat. And so after they finish, they save the day or whatever, so you the new Boris, huh?
Yeah, I'm definitely. This story is dope. It's just dope. I really enjoy. I'm glad that you gave me that assignment to dive into that. But I'm gonna keep on going because I mean, you put me on to Quantum and Woody and stuff like that, and I got some of the trades up there. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, this is good. This is good. Like when he got in the first issue, he got crushed under the fire engine. He was like, I thought I'm about to break my chest cavity.
Yeah.
Like, snap. Okay, this is different. But yeah,
it's a lot of action in these books, but there's a lot of story.
He teams up with the Question in one of the issues. Yeah.
And I don't want to give the story away because if somebody wants to go pick this up and check it out, I recommend that you do. But there's some family ties in this story too, that are kind of, you know, central to the whole overarching story as well. You know, but y'all check that out. That's issues 34 through 52. You know, Dennis Cowan is an amazing artist. I don't know if we get a Dennis Cowan run with another Black writer like Christopher Priest ever again. There's only a few of these runs and these stories and these combinations out there like that, guys. So, but that's one I think that you guys should go check out, pick it up. You know, will you be able to find it on trade? I doubt it. There are some stories that you can get, like the first 4 issues of that run. You might be able to find that in a trade, but still doesn't have a lot of trades out there. There's like a 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I was going to say they just released that.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like the full story arc, you're not going to get it all because it's really like, I want to say 3 stories, but it's really an overarching one whole story. So, yeah, man. So what we're going to do with that, man, is we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the comics that we're reading, things that we're checking out, guys. So we're not going to be here long after that. So if you got questions or commentary, please line them up because we're going to probably rapid fire and we're going to get out the way. We're not here for a long time, but a good time. So, Derek, take us to commercial and we'll be right back talking about the books that we're checking out.
Yes, sir.
This week in Black History, Black Comic Lord celebrates the artistry of Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan is a comic book artist with a flair for naturalism. If I didn't know any better, I thought the brother lived and breathed in brick-walled alleys, inhaling the pollution of the city streets and exhaling the pictures of agony and anguish. You see, it's hard to describe Mr. Cowan's art, so I'm forced to use a ghetto analogy. Dennis Cowan art is like fish and grits. It's not first on the menu, but you're glad you spotted it. Visually, it tastes good and your eyes will be filled. Yes, filled, I say, filled with detail. They say the devil is in the details, but Dennis be like, hold my beer, because the brother crafts scenes and faces where it makes you wonder, did he miss anything? Each panel is filled with action, and though pictures cannot physically move, Dennis Cowan shows and proves that they actually can. From Batman to The Question to the Black Panther and others, Dennis Cowan's art speaks like Terminator X speaks with his hands. That makes him a bad man and worthy to be celebrated. Salute the living legend that is Dennis Cowan, a Black history legend. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, peace.
T'Challa's been knocked around a lot.
A lot.
And I wanted the story to feel like T'Challa is him, you know? Like, he's that dude. And
you want to give the swag back.
Yes. I wanted him to, you know, get some, I don't want to say arrogance, but to me, T'Challa doesn't need to be humbled. And
say that part louder again. For the people in the back.
I don't think that T'Challa needs to be humbled. There are things that he needed to learn, and I think multiple writers have done a great job in T'Challa learning and growing. But I don't think he needed a humbling. And I wanted, even though I know that he was like, he had fallen prey to Blade and he was serving someone else, I wanted to emphasize that Wakandans may have a broken government, but they aren't a broken people. And T'Challa is that dude. T'Challa is, king or not, he is that dude. Heart, soul, mind, all of it. And so I kind of wanted the last of the first to show this man is important and should be treated as if he is important.
Message.
We back?
Yes, sir. Back in the building.
My brother, we talked about some stories or some shows and comic book runs. So what you been reading? What you been checking out, bro?
I got some books over here. I think I had mentioned to you before I went over to start reading Steel, but I was checking out Power Fantasy. This is volume 1. It's 5 issues in here. So I picked this up. I'm 2 issues into that one. I'm digging it. You know what I'm saying? This character is pretty cool. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I ain't even gonna try to right now, but it's good. I'll also shout out to Black Comic Lords, of course, gotta always do that. But you know, I did finish volume 1 of the Untamed over there with Stranger Comics.
Okay.
I got what was it, like 6 of the trades I got for, you know, in that bundle, and I think y'all knocked off what, like 10 or I think it's like 10%. Yeah, so got those in the mail. The one book that I had come out this week was Miles Morales Spider-Man. You know, that's my guy. I didn't pick it up yet, but because there was only one book, I don't live as close to the shop like I used to, so I'm like, I ain't driving all the way over there to get one book. But I'm loving that run. Cody's
it's a good story. I read it, and it's a new story arc.
Yeah.
So news came out recently. Speaking of the writer of Miles Morales,
my boy
they're
Cody.
going to end Deadpool at 15 issues. Yes, they're and I'm like, okay, Deadpool has a cult following. People, you know, that love Deadpool, buy Deadpool. It is what it is. So it ain't like the book ain't selling. Okay, it is.
Yeah.
But what they're doing, shout out to Marvel for being Marvel, is they're going to do and Cody Ziegler, from what I understand, is involved in this. but they're going to do a Deadpool's and Wolverine's book, which is they're going to have basically Deadpool and his daughter, Wolverine and his daughter, all in a book together.
And Cody's writing it.
Cody's helping. I'm not sure if he's totally writing it by himself, but I do know he's involved. I read an article online that talks about where he said he was kind of excited to like see what these characters would do.
Okay.
But yeah, he's
having a good time in comics right now. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. He is having fun. I mean, I know the crossover stories and stuff like that can kind of get in the way of some of our favorite stories, but he handles crossovers like it's light work to him. Like you do not get off topic with his stories. Like he'll just find a way to incorporate it, solve the problem, and keep it going. And this is probably like his third crossover that's kind of like interrupted his story, and he's handled it like a G, man. So yeah, shout out to Cody Ziegler, man. I've interviewed him before on the pod. Good dude, man. Really good dude. I'm just gonna keep on promoting these. I know y'all. I know this Black Comic Lords, but this Energon universe, man. Man, G.I. Joe. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying? G.I. Joe it's good, man. It's good. I read Bitterroot 3 times since the interview with David F. Walker. Shout out to Paul. Great interview with that. But yeah, Bitterroot. I got a cover coming in from Third Eye Comics. They did I think they're doing a signing with Sanford Green.
Okay.
And it's like one of those incentive covers.
Right.
I had to hit them up. I'm like, hey man, I bought this book a month ago. What's up? So they hit me back like, oh, we haven't done the signing yet. We had to reschedule the signing, but that's still on the way. So I can't wait to that. Get that book so I can, floss a little bit on IG. Ninja Turtles, I've been reading that. Absolute Batman. I did read Absolute Flash. Pretty good story.
Okay.
Pretty good story, OG.
Okay. I might have to check it out. My guy at the shop was asking me about that, and I was like, no, not right now, or whatever. But I did pick up the Absolute Green Lantern issue 1 that just came out.
Yeah, that came out this week. I had him add that for me. How was it?
It was cool. It was cool. It's kind of on a build up or whatever because Joe Mullen, who is the quote unquote feature in this story, she kind of like she's in the story, but it's not no real focus on her yet. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the book kind of ended with they're going in that direction, but it was cool for what it was.
Okay. Are they young? I heard somebody say that they're kind of like younger.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. It's more like a teenager, early 20s maybe, but yeah, definitely younger than Joe Mullen from say Far Sector or the regular Lantern book for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But yeah, I think the Miles Morales Spider-Man book is dope. Like I said, they just started a new story arc that's going to have Thor and Hercules in it.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
It's your man's is going. He done been to Wakanda. Now he finna hang out with the guards.
Yeah.
The Nazi got him in all kind of Nazi got him in all kind of foolishness.
Yeah. That's right. Hercules was on the last page. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he taking him all over the place, man. He got him. So, he got him a vibranium suit. He having a good old time.
I'm just like, don't mess around and make this dude because he overpowered. Next thing you know, we won't see Miles for 5 years.
Yeah,
he'd be on the shelf like Blue Marvel or something.
Yeah,
but
I read that. I read Absolute Martian Manhunter. That was a fun book.
Okay. I have not read that either, so I gotta see the Bitterroot book. Kind of checked it out a little bit. It was cool for what it was. We were having a discussion about Bitterroot, and some people were disappointed that the book didn't do as well in sales. And the thing is like, man, look, y'all, we have been clamoring for this book, and I know you've been campaigning for this book for a while. And so, people, if you do not strike while the iron is hot, people will find something else to do.
Yeah.
That's the fickleness of fans and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And while some of us who are hardcore don't mind waiting, and I'm shouting out, I'm putting up I'm trying to put up the bat signal for Rodney Barnes.
Listen, you know what? Listen. Speaking of bat signal, he's done with that now, right? Like he's done with.
Yeah, he's done with full moon.
I love Rodney. The story was dope. I need my Philadelphia back.
Yeah,
I need my Philadelphia back. Like I know he's very busy, and I'm a stand on the same words you said. The podcast is dope, but I need my I need my Philadelphia. Okay,
yes, sir.
I need Seesaw back in the streets. Okay, I need him down there in South Street beating up some vampires. All right, stop playing.
Yeah, stop playing, Philly. We where y'all at?
For real. Give me some of them Jones right now.
So another book that came out this week, a lot of people were looking forward to, was Ironheart by Dr. John Jennings. Bad Chemistry. Some interesting reviews online.
I heard
I think they were kind of mixed reviews. I know that, shout out to my favorite troll, Herschel. He put out a post on YouTube. He put a post out there on YouTube, and some people had some good things to say about it, and some people had some not so good things to say about it.
Really?
But it was kind of funny because, John Jennings is in our space.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kind of responded to some of the commentary.
Uh-oh.
And I think people were taken aback that he was even making comments. I mean, John was very, very professional. He's thank everybody for reading the book and that kind of thing. Yeah, people understand too. This was a one shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was
that kind of hurt my feelings that it was a one shot.
Yeah, and you can only tell a story in so many pages. You gotta, produce what you can, how you can, you know what I'm saying? And so was the story rushed, janky, or whatever? No, it wasn't. He told a complete story. It just some things probably could have been flushed out, but that is really not on John. That's really on Marvel's budget.
Right.
You can only do so much with so many pages. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to tell this complete story, but I only got this amount of pages to tell the story in. And so you then have to make the decision. What do I cut? What do I change?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's hard, bro. I'm not gonna act like being a comic book writer is the easiest thing in the world. It isn't.
Right. See, now what I thought you was going to say was, that it was on Marvel and they need to cut out some of these extra Spider-Man books that they have on the shelves and allow other writers to be able to actually flesh out at least a mini. You know what I'm saying? But it's tough when you only got a certain amount of pages to get a story done. I mean, for what I've heard, and then when I say mixed reviews, it's like mixed, it was okay, and mixed like, I wish I could have got more. You know what I'm saying? Like people were saying that. But from what I've heard, it starts off a little slow in the first few pages, and then it picks up and goes crazy after that. So, I mean, I trust Brother Jennings. I think, with his Ghostlight run. Ghostlight's in this, right? Or am I tripping?
No, he's not in this.
Okay. So I thought I could have sworn League of Comic Book Geeks be lying sometimes, man.
They do.
Because they be saying people that's on the cast in the book, and them people don't be in the book. So yeah, get it together.
It's weird though, man. You can only do what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I see the commentary. Robert Monroe Jr. says if sales of Bitterroot are below expectation, that's on us. There are almost 4.5 thousand BCLs on YouTube. Did at least 4,000 put Bitterroot on their pull list? Well, again, everybody doesn't have pull lists.
Right.
Everybody that subscribes to Black Comic Lords does not have a pull list. Mm-hmm. Everybody that subscribed on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, we got almost 80,000 members on Facebook.
Yeah.
If if the Black community used the raw numbers, it wouldn't even be an issue. It'd be number one. It would be top 10. It would be, but that's for any book.
And that could also mean people didn't pre-order the books. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that they didn't go out and buy it. It just don't get counted as that type of sale for the numbers. They just going on for pre-orders. It could literally be 80,000 people that from BCL that read that book. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't pre-order it. You know,
right? Just went and got it off the shelf. You know, which is. I think a lot of comic book guys and gals don't understand that the pre-order sales is what counts versus the wall sales. Just because you go into a store and grab it off the shelf, they're not going to count that as quote unquote actual sales. Because what comic book shops are doing is it's like, okay, I don't have a whole lot of Black customers. I'm gonna buy 5 books. And if nobody comes in to pre-order it, I'm gonna just have these 5. And whoever get these 5, they get these 5. It is what it is. Whereas like Batman, okay, I got 50 different Batman books. I can sell 50 Batman 1 titles. So I can literally order 250 Batman books, get all the variants and that kind of stuff because I know people are gonna come in and buy this book.
Exactly. Hush. So, you talking about Hush?
Hush. I think they said like Hush was like 400,000. The pre-order sales on Hush was like 400,000.
My shop had two rows of Hush books, different covers. Yeah. So,
did you happen to see the giant size book?
Oh, the big boy. Yeah, that was another shop. They had that one. My boy Isaac, he had a big boy. And if he did, he probably sold it real quick. He might have got 1 or 2, but 2 rows on the wall full of Hush books. And that came out the same week as Bitter Root. And I think I bought all the copies from Bitter Root for the most part. But you know what I'm finding interesting? The Bitter Root book, it don't even say from Eisner Award winning writers, art, team. They should have put that on the book. But anyway, that's another story for another day. They should have got to it. But yeah, that's what we've been reading, man. That's what I've been getting to.
So what we're gonna do is we got some commentary questions or whatever. We're gonna try to fire off some questions real quick. One last book that I will mention is Junie Baugh's Monkey Meat. Issue 2 came out. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Junie Baugh is hilarious. Junie Baugh is very, very talented writer. Has a dope sense of humor. You talk about dark comedy and things of that nature. This book is also made on newspaper print. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When was the last time you read a comic book? With newspaper print. The art is the very thing that stands out in this book. But he has some very, very humorous tales in the book. It's you got to be a thinking person. This is not for the dumb nerds. It's for the smart nerds. You got to, you know what I'm saying?
I had a joke, but I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice.
You got to have an IQ above room temperature. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to think when you read some of this stuff. Some of y'all ain't getting this stuff because you're just not smart. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You got to be like my man Tom Holland. You know what I'm saying? If you're short, you got to put some, heel risers in your shoe or something.
Some lifts in your shoes.
Some lifts.
Yeah, get on that roller coaster now.
Lift your vocabulary, lift your comprehension skills. But no, it's a dope read. And Junie Baugh, he did the Robbins Boy Wonder book. Did you read that?
I did not yet.
Yeah, go get the trade on that, bro.
I'm gonna get. Yeah, you know me. If I missed it, I'll grab a trade.
I promise you won't be disappointed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not think that Junie Baugh was going to do work with a Boy Wonder book, but the book is really a story about the different Robins. He takes an issue and deals with one Robin. Jason Todd. He deals with all the Robins that you've seen. Damian is kind of at the core of the story, but Damian is literally reading or hearing about these stories from the different Robins or whatever. It's pretty ill. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think that you would definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
I want to shout out a pool. Now, I was at one of my shops this past week, and they had quote unquote story arcs and full runs on sale, half price. And so this came out, Double Dragon.
Oh man!
But you know, if you know what Double Dragon is, you got video game stuff, right?
Jeez.
But I got the first 5 issues of Double Dragon. Now, this was on sale. Now, the book, the run itself was $10. So I got this for all 5.
Wow.
Now, let me tell you why I got this. Not because I'm the biggest Double Dragon fan.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne McDuffie wrote this story.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. This is Dwayne. You know, I'm a Dwayne McDuffie guy, and so I've been collecting Dwayne McDuffie stories for the last, I would say, 2 years now. I've been trying to get everything that Dwayne McDuffie has done in the comic book. But yeah, he wrote Double Dragon. Now I think Double Dragon is like 6 issues, I want to say. But here's the first 5. I got these for $5. So, and I've had like a couple of these books, but the books themselves were like tore up. Reader copies, that kind of thing. But these are nice. These are nice.
I'm putting that on my hunt list. Hopefully, it's better than the movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
That movie broke my heart as a kid. That was the first time I realized a movie could be bad. I ain't know.
You know what? It had to be terrible. It had to be terrible if you was a kid thought that movie was terrible.
Man, me and my cousin was big Double Dragon fans, man. Cartoon game. We got in the movie. They used their powers the last 2 minutes of the movie. We was hot.
I know y'all was.
Oh man, we went all the way to Pizza Hut mad.
No, that's unfortunate. So Derek, let's see. Robert Monroe asks us, what's going on, brother? Did anyone catch Yano either on Cartoon Network or Max? I did. I watched it on Max today. First 3 episodes came out. It was cool for what it was. And the only reason why I'm saying it was cool for what it was is because, you know, I'm not 10 years old. So, you know, this is not geared toward, you know, older adults or whatever. Is it cool to see African-centered theme stories in a cartoon form? Absolutely. But yeah, it was, you know, it's a story that Royce Okupe and Brandon Easton did. They did the writing work on that as well. So, but that debuted on Mac. The first 3 episodes, they're like 22 minutes each, I want to say. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was dope. It was dope for what it was, you know what I'm saying? So I recommend it. Sit down with your kids, your nieces, your aunt, your nephews, and whatever, and check it out. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. So it's we're starting to see more of the Afrocentric type stuff on screen now. They recognize that there is a market for this. Yeah. Go figure. Yeah. And so now they're starting to put money into it and time and effort. And it takes 2 years to make a cartoon. Yeah. Let me just say that. Y'all be wanting to see everything in mama on screen, but it literally takes a minimum of 2 years to bring something to screen. Whether you're talking about Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur. Matter of fact, I picked up there's a 10th anniversary Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur book that just came out as well. So you know, this is a labor of love.
You know, Spider-Verse takes 4 years in between. You know,
yeah, that part too. You know, it is, but you know, but hey, that's some next level animation.
Yeah. They talking about they got a new art style for the next one. I said,
you know what? Wasn't nothing wrong with the old one. What y'all doing? Can we get the story? Can we get the? Oh man, this is what we're dealing with, Amir. This is what we're dealing with.
Come on, man.
Now, Manifesto says Quantum and Woody TV series in production. Okay, well, I'll be here for it if it does make it to the final, you know, put together. I'll be there for it for sure.
For sure.
What else we got, Derek? Brother Man 2 says, cannot wait for Epiphany. Yeah, well, that's all of us. Man. Shout out to Tony Cottrell. What's happening, bro? What you got on my Epiphany engine, bro? Or like
Devo got on my 40, homie.
You got on my 40, homie. That's not what we paid for the book for.
Oh man!
Shout out to Tony. Yeah. Which daughter of Wolverine are they using? He has many. I'm not sure.
Wolverine got that many kids?
Yeah, Wolverine got a few
kids.
I
only knew about the dude. I didn't even know he had
there's a shout out to my man Otis. Otis put me on. I'm a Wolverine guy, but I don't buy everything Wolverine. I will say that first and foremost, but I am a Wolverine guy. But Otis put me on to a story arc, Wolverine. I think it was written by Jason Aaron, where Wolverine inadvertently killed some of his own kids.
Oh Lord!
And yeah, man, it was nasty work,
Mm-hmm.
But he was deceived, and so Wolverine is old dude.
Yeah,
Logan is old.
About 450, right? He's something like that.
Yeah, Logan is old, y'all. So you know what I'm saying, he got a few kids out there. Mm-hmm. It's possible, you know what I'm saying. But yeah.
Did you check this out?
That's the Ultimate Wolverine. I have not checked out I heard it was okay, but it's all right.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's not pull list worthy. If you see it and you got a light week, you know what I'm saying, go, check it out. But it's okay.
He said, H&H asked the question. He says, have y'all seen One of Them Days yet on Netflix? Have not seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? That's literally a chick flick, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? A couple of hood rats in South Central trying to raise rent money. You know, I used to live that.
Yeah. That's with SZA.
SZA and Keke Palmer.
Yeah, Keke, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's cool.
I mean, shout out to SZA, Jersey girl. You know what I'm saying? Another Jersey's own.
Yeah,
but no, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet either. You know, at some point I'll sit down to watch it. Yeah. But my wife was watching the Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz movie.
Yeah.
Today, matter of fact, earlier today, when she didn't stop me, I'm like, I'm getting ready for a show tonight. Before all the shenanigans happen tonight, my wife says, honey, we got to do our taxes. I'm like, really? So I'm like, I got to stop what I'm doing so we could, fill out all our taxes. So that's what I did today. I went to church this morning, preached and teached and all that good stuff, came home, got a good nap in, and woke up, read some comic books, was getting ready for the show. And my wife says, hey, taxes.
Tax time.
Yeah, it's time to do the tax. I'm like, okay.
Did she have Samuel L. Jackson next to her with the American flag and hat on?
Might as well. Well, I was feeling it. There's never a good time to do taxes, and then she come to me, we talking, and she's like, she go back and look at our history, filing our taxes. Why is we always file our taxes in April? I said, honey, and when you're not expecting to get anything, you ain't just up and running the first day of tax season to get them money. Now, fortunately, praise God, we haven't had to pay taxes in the last 3 years or so. Mm-hmm. But I noticed that when we started having to pay, April.
I owe them jokers a $56 tip. So
that part.
Yeah, so man, look. they dipped into my comic book money on that one.
Right. So Def Rocker asks, are there any good Afrofuturism books to read?
What's the one that you always talk about that's at Barnes? It's in Barnes and Nobles. They have it.
I mean, as far as Infinitum.
Yeah, Infinitum, yeah.
Infinitum is a good book to read, Def Rocker. I'm pretty sure you probably read Infinitum. If you're on Afrofuturism, I'm sure you have read Infinitum. If you have not, go get a late pass and go and stop what you're doing after this live and go order it, because it's one of the most amazing Afrofuturism comic books, graphic novels, if you want to call it that, ever. Tim Fielder does some dope work. He did that. He's got Maddie's Rocket. He's got some other stuff. He did the history of hip hop as well. But Tim Fielder is Afrofuturist. Some of the stuff that John Jennings does, a lot of his stuff that he does is Afrofuturism. He did the Kindred. He did the adaptation of Octavia Butler's Kindred. That's a pretty good one. Parable of the Sower is another one. I was in a bookstore. I was in Ollie's today, matter of fact. No, yesterday. I was in Ollie's yesterday.
Ollie's.
Yeah. And N.K. Jemisin has a book at Ollie's. It's not a graphic novel or whatever, it's just a regular Afro. N.K. Jemisin is a science fiction writer. So if you like science fiction in general, apart from Afrofuturism, N.K. Jemisin has got some pretty dope books that you can find to read as well. But yeah, man, there's a few things out there you can get.
Yeah, that's not really my lane, Def Rocker. So I'm sorry. You can go. I'll suggest the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda.
Yep, that part. Matter of fact, H&H brings up that we will be interviewing John Jennings on Wednesday night.
I'll be tuning into that.
There will be a lot of books talked about, including the one shot that he just did. I'm sure.
Yeah.
What else we got, my brother?
Oh man, don't you bring up Nita Halls to me right now? My Lord.
What's good with you, girl? I will say this about, I want to see Nita Halls, but without Philadelphia, there is no Nita Halls.
Facts.
So Rodney, we listen. I'm one of these guys, so I know I can reach out and you'll hit me back because you're just that solid.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I don't want to do that, bro. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to hit you in the DMs and be like, bro, what's going on? What's up with the books?
Listen, I'll do it. I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm young. OG, I got you. I'll do it tonight. He over in California. It's still the sun's still going down over there in Cali. I'll hit him up. Don't worry about it because I'm tired. I read the last Batman book. It was good. And I said, all right, they ain't got no previews for Philadelphia back here. Man. So yeah, we need to get to it. But Monarch was dope. Monarch was good.
Yeah. We probably won't get another Philadelphia arc probably until the fall. Because we get our previews for like every 3 months. So there's no previews of yet. So the summer stuff is already planned.
Yeah.
So matter of fact, the only thing I can say that I'm looking forward to is the Power Company stuff with Black Lightning that will continue. That's gonna be dope.
I know you saw the preview artwork. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. My boy Jace is back. Oh, my boy Jace Fox is back. I'm so happy to see him in some pages, man. Shout out to John Ridley, the GOAT, Paul. I've been waiting to get on here just to say that.
Say his name. Say his name. Hey, Derek, we're gonna need you to clip that. We need you to clip that from the Daredevil show, and we're gonna put that in Paul's inbox. Say his name.
Oh man, but yeah, that looks. I can't wait. I can't wait. The pre-orders for that is actually to final cutoff. I think it's tomorrow. If I'm correct, I think it's tomorrow. So if y'all haven't pre-ordered it, go to your shop tomorrow. Call them. Whatever you got to do. Tell your boss you got to go to the bathroom or something, and go call them. Tell them you want that book because it's gonna be good, man. And you guys just had Brian Edward Hill on.
Yes,
a couple days ago, and that was a good interview as well, man. So he's one of my favorite writers, man. He can't do no wrong to me. Like, what was it? He did that one story for Vertigo, like right at the end when Vertigo was getting ready to shut down. And when I read that was one of my earlier, like, I guess, quote unquote, indie books that I read. And man, he blew my mind with that. The dude was like, he was like biracial cop or something like that. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And then everything else after that, I've enjoyed very much. But go get that.
Well, ask the question. Are you looking forward to Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion?
Yes.
I'm gonna wait till my man Amir reads it.
Yes.
And then if he tells me it's dope, then I'm gonna go pick it up.
I'll be honest with you. I wanted them to put Miles back in the Ultimate Universe when they first started this. They should have just put him back over there to begin with. But Cody's doing his thing. I'm excited for it. The Ultimate Universe, I'm like, in order, I would have to say, I'm sorry, Paul, don't come for me for this one, but Ultimate Spider-Man right now is probably the best out of all the books. And then Ultimate Black Panther, the Ultimates those are my top 3. So this this Spider-Man incursion. I can't wait.
That's what's up. Well, look, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Let's see now, brother. Let's see, which one was I looking at? Somebody asked if we like Nita Hawes.
If we like,
brother Nancy. Yeah, do you like Nita Hawes' Nightmare Blogs? Yes, absolutely. We are fans. We are fans. We wanted to come back. We definitely wanted to come back. Bring back Howlin' Henry.
Oh man,
I like a villain, a ghost that sings when he come to kill you.
You gonna go see Sinners? That's my last thing. You gonna go see Sinners?
Yeah, I am gonna go see it. I'm gonna check it out for sure. Shout out to Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan for that. So that's gonna be dope.
Speaking of singing ghosts, yeah, sure.
Now, before we get out of here, man, one real quick thing. I wanna send a shout out and love to Reggie Simmons, aka Reggie Collects.
1G, not 2.
Yes. And the reason why I wanted to, Amir, when he said he wanted to come on the show, that was one of the things I thought we would talk about briefly because many of y'all may not know this, but Black Comic Lords, when it was forming, when in the genesis of its creation, Reggie Collects was someone that I personally watched on YouTube, got tips from in terms of the hobby itself and that kind of thing. And so very, sound brother, approachable. I hit him in the DMs at times, asked him for, advice on how to help do things better at Black Comic Lords, and his suggestions and counsel was solid. You know what I'm saying? So, but of course, life be lifing, and one day, like Jordan, he just disappeared, and I was like,
Reggie.
I'm gonna tell a quick story about church. One day, came to church, and just not thinking, but I noticed the church bus was gone. Now, you don't often need certain things. You don't think about things until you need it. So I'm like, where's the bus? And everybody's like, man, that bus been gone 3 days. You just not noticing it? I'm like, didn't know.
Yeah.
Same way with Reggie. Reggie one day just disappeared. And I was like, is he all right? So I hit Amir because, him and Amir kind of have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? He's been on his show. Reggie's been on 1 in 100 podcast show. So I was like, what's up with your boy? That kind of thing, And he said, man, he said he was out. And he was.
Yeah.
And then he was gone a little while. And, I'm not talking about a month or two, you know what I'm saying? He don't do like Rich do. I take a break.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a break.
Yeah. For real.
Not a week off. I'm going to take a couple of months. I might take a season off, okay?
Yeah.
But he was gone for a while. And so we were just talking. And then one day he pops up and he starts doing little clips. So I'm like, okay. So I'm glad to know that he's alive.
Yeah.
And, eventually he gets back into the space. Now he did a show, or he did a video where he talked about him being gone. And I just remember thinking that, this is a guy who's very ambitious, and, he was doing our stuff, the comic book stuff, but dude has a real job. Okay. Like all of us. You know what I'm saying? He's not a full-time YouTuber, but he was doing full-time things on YouTube.
Facts.
And so he had to make a decision. Do I continue to do this and try to do this? And of course, this man's got a family, he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's got, interests outside of comics. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, you guys in the basement, you're just not that important.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, we all been there for sure.
Yeah. He had to make a decision and pull the plug. But he came back, And I'm happy to see him back. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just ask you, Amir, you know, you've been on Reggie's show. And you know, interacted with him or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he seems to be a very, very sound guy. I hit him in DMs or whatever, but I don't have the connection like you guys have. So my question is, you know what I'm saying? Because you saw him go through this, you know. What did you make of it, bro? You know, because he was so instrumental. And here's the thing. When things are in our lives, we're not used to them not being in our lives. Yeah. And that's how I found out he was gone, because I recognized it. I was like, I mean, you know, I'm gonna watch Reggie Collects on my way to work.
Right. You know,
he had done a show in this week, 2 weeks. Next thing, 2 weeks was 2 months. And before I knew it, it was probably close to a year.
Yeah.
So how did that affect you, or what did you think about his sabbatical and him coming back, bro?
Well, first off, I'm happy he's back and, you know, doing his thing with the comics and, you know, giving us you know, some education that, you know, we don't always get, you know, in our space. So I was really happy to see him come back. But when he you know, bounced, I mean, I was shocked because what he said, all he said was, "I'm done." That's what he said. I'm done. So I was like, no explanation, nothing like that. So I was a little like worried, like, man, you know, let me just reach out to Reggie because he's had me on his show and, you know, we've talked, and I was like, let me just reach out to make sure he's good and his family's good, because, you know, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, you know, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? Some things happen and, you know, YouTube it's going to be there, you know what I'm saying? When I feel like it, whatever. So I just made sure he was good and his family's good, and he was. And that's all he said. Like, he didn't even say like, oh, I got stuff going on at work. Nothing. He was just like, oh man, appreciate you, you know, reaching out. Everything's good. I said, all right. Then I left it at that, because I get it, man. This dude was doing, you know, clips on Instagram, like 4 videos a day. Like, I don't know how, like, he's a machine. All right. He's a machine. Even when he came back, he got right back into the machine. Like, if you look at some of his videos, some videos he got a beard for like 8, you know, and then if you see him on Instagram, he ain't got no beard. But it's like, dang, boy, wait a minute. How you got and then you got the beard again? Yeah. But yeah, you know, I was happy that he came back. I wasn't really shocked because I get it. You know, when I moved into our house and everything, like, I had to take a break as well. Like, it takes a lot to sit down and want to curate an episode and want to make sure that you're saying the right things and doing your research and all that stuff. And if you're doing it honestly just for the release of things, you can come back to it. So like you said, he unplugged the show, but I'll add another part to it. He didn't cut off the electric. You know what I'm saying? So he at least left the power cord connected.
Right.
So he gets plugged back in whenever he felt like it. And I appreciate that, you know, like, so he's doing his thing, man. He seems like he's in a good space. And we good, you know, he's definitely, I mean, we talk, you know, I hit him up in the DMs here and there about different stuff. And he also thought that Captain America Brave New World was a good movie. So I'm good. We good. We good on that
part. Yeah, that part. I mean, what kills me about that, we're gonna shut up and get out of here. Y'all wanted this movie to fail so bad, but it didn't.
No,
it made money.
Yeah,
it made money. A black superhero mainstream character made some money. Can we be happy? Yeah. Can we celebrate? I mean, it ain't T'Challa, but it's something.
Yeah,
it's something. We still saying we cast T'Challa, but we gotta celebrate when it's a reason to celebrate. We had a reason to celebrate. Speaking of celebrate, shout out to Brother Man for the super chat.
Wow, nice.
Showing support. Keep up the good work, and God bless. Thank you.
God bless you.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Well, look, guys, we are going to get out of here. Me just ending this thing. First of all, saying thanks to Amir for hanging out with me, brother. Y'all, please go check out the Black Podcaster with a 6, not a B.
Got it.
Anywhere where you get your podcast.
Yep.
Check out my man. My man has some dope quality material.
Thank you.
He keeps us up to date on all the MCU shenanigans. Life is better when my man Amir is doing his thing, because it was the same thing with Amir. Let me just, since we here, my man.
Hold on, where my lights at? Let me turn my lights down. Let me get on out of here.
He kind of like pulled the plug too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get my man as a brother. What show? I'm like, I'm running out of stuff to watch. I'm tired of watching these reruns, and I can only take Comic Time and all the rest of these shenanigans for so long. I need some melanin voices in my space, and Amir has been one of those voices I need in my head, because while I'm going about the business of life, I need things that take me away from the shenanigans that real life, because we understand that this is a hobby, first and foremost, and this is what we do for fun. We spend, discretionary funds on this stuff. We have a joy doing it. That's why, my man is so positive in his outlook on comics or whatever. Same with Reggie too, you know what I'm saying? Some people just make the hobby fun. And we need those we got enough negative voices in these spaces.
Yes.
So,
yes, I have a note right here on my desk that says that. Just put a little positive light into the world when it comes to whenever I'm creating something for people to listen to. We got enough negative stuff for people to listen to. So I try to do the opposite of that. So I try my best.
Now we got Herschel is our troll, but our producer is a troll too. He says, Rich, did you hear Acolyte season 2 has been greenlit? Yeah, I heard that. Just shout out to Amanda. Please do not allow, honey. Let me talk to baby girl real quick. Please, baby girl, do not allow them to cut your bangs with a lightsaber this season. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dang. That was about a time when I was unsubscribed at Disney Plus, so I don't know what happened there. I'm
just gonna say there's a part of here where she's wearing bangs in the show, and she cuts. She's trying to not show who she is, so she's kind of like, so she cannot be identified. So she takes her lightsaber and she cuts her bangs with the lightsaber. My wife says, don't do nothing stupid. Stop doing stupid stuff. Like when you pick up the iron to see if it's hot and you hold it.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
You know what I'm saying? You don't tap it with your finger. You don't put it to. Like my wife said, I did that one time. She said, "What are you doing, fool?" I said, "I'm seeing make sure the iron is hot." Don't do that.
Just hit the steam button, OG. Just hit the steam button so smoke will come out.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we have wives to help us out, help the foolish ones.
Facts. They keep us balanced. They keep us one with the force.
Yeah.
But I didn't even watch Acolyte season 1, to be honest with you. Though, I mean, honestly, the only reason why I got Disney Plus right now is because they did that Hulu Disney Plus Black Friday deal where you could get both of them for the whole year for like $3.40. So
that's crazy.
That's the only reason why I got either one of these. Because if I didn't, I was gonna have to find a way to see some of these shows.
Look, let me tell you something. Mickey Mouse, we say it all the time. He's the biggest pimp. The Godfather just made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
Couldn't refuse that one. I'll say, let me tell you something. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
No doubt. So look, guys, we want to thank you guys for hanging us with us on tonight. We appreciate your presence. Thanks for the super chat. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check us out on Wednesday night. We're going to have Dr. John Jennings is going to be with us. And I'm sure after the show, we'll probably have a Wednesday wrap up and another episode of Daredevil to talk about, among other things. So please, please, please. With that said, I'm going to hit you guys with the benediction. And the benediction comes from Proverbs 16 and the 9th chapter. It simply says, a person's heart plans his way, but the Lord determines his steps. From the stronghold that is Black comic lords and Black superheroes forever, it's your boy Rich with my man Amir. We say peace. We check you out when we see you when we see you. Yes, Y'all be blessed. Good night.